the ultimate power, and opinions scream the loudest. It's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get tribe! Hunger no get religion!
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues on Voice of the People Television. Don't just react, understand.
Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Issues on Voice of the People TV, where we bring you the most important and pressing issues shaping our nation today. I am your host, Jerry Apelioai. Today on the Issues, Nigeria's democratic landscape is under scrutiny as key developments unfold. The ADC has raised alarms about the Tinubu government's alleged plans to suppress opposition, while a heated debate brews, over President Tinubu's role in Buhari's 2015 victory. Meanwhile, the Senate Committee on Constitution Review is set to hold a public hearing in the Northwest geopolitical zone. What do these issues reveal about Nigeria's current state and future prospects? Let's dive into the complexities and challenges facing the nation. Stay with us. After this short break, we'll dig deeper into these topics and more. Don't go away. Welcome back. Let's dive straight into today's discussion. The African Democratic Congress ADC has accused the All Progressive Congress APC-led government of plotting to suppress opposition under the guise of national security. The party's National Publicity Secretary, Bolaji Abdullahi, made this known in a statement reacting to a post by Bayo Onanuga, Special Advisor to President Bola Tinubu on Information and Strategy. Onanuga had alleged that certain political figures were banding together to overthrow an administration that has been the most focused, most transformative in our history, in quotes. And the ADC described Onanuga's statements as irresponsible and defamatory, warning that it could be used as a pretext for a wider crackdown on opposition leaders and voices critical of the government. Abdullah emphasized that the ADC is committed to democracy and is focused on rescuing Nigeria from what it describes as the irredeemable incompetence of the Tinubu administration through peaceful and democratic means. The party called on President Tinubu to rein in his aides, particularly those making baseless allegations that could destabilize the polity. The ADC also appealed to the international community to monitor the political climate in Nigeria and hold the Tinubu administration accountable for any actions that undermine democratic freedoms or violate the political rights of Nigerian citizens. Today, I'm delighted to be joined by two esteemed guests. Here in the studio, we have Dr. Peter Anosike. Dr. Anosike is a philosopher, development economist, and best-selling author. He is also an erudite commentator on economy, finance, politics, and power. Great to have you join us.
Thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure. And joining us virtually is Mr. Dekule Adefolaon, a public affairs analyst. It's great to have you join us on the issues. All right, we understand it's not yet with us. But let me now go over to Dr. Anosike. If the government is truly confident in its performance, why resort to labeling dissent as a security threat instead of winning public trust through transparency?
Well, since the emergence of ADC, APC government has been very, very jittery. They have been wobbling on their knees because they know that their 2 years or 10 years in office was a very big disservice to the country. APC has been a threat to democracy, a threat to our fundamental human rights, and even a threat to people living in this country. Ononuga is jittery because he knows that he's going to lose his meal ticket. For more than 40 years now, he has been struggling. So this is just a kind of Tinubu just rehabilitated him, because even the PM news that he was publishing, he cannot continue again. PM news is now strictly online because he cannot publish it that in a hard paper anymore. So this is a kind of a rehabilitation which he doesn't want to lose too soon. But by the grace of God, it will come to an end in 2027. So what he is afraid, that's why he is making reckless, unguarded, and irresponsible statements. ADC, as the name that goes, is a democratic institution. Coalition is just a democratic way of coming together to remove an incumbent through the ballot, not the bullet. Understand? So there's nothing like a security threat anywhere. Understand me? So when government, that they are not doing well, they'll begin that to go fishing on anything that will bring insecurity in the country. So the issue is this: ADC is founded on democracy. What they are doing is democratic.
Okay.
What they are doing is democratic, and it's not a threat to the nation. It doesn't in any way constitute national security.
Okay.
Because these are political associations, not military. Political associations coming together to remove that's an incompetent incumbent. So for me, there's nothing like a national security in this issue. What they are doing is democratic. It is recognized both by our constitution and even by international communities. And that's the same thing that they did in 2014-15.
All right, could Bayo Onanuga's statement be seen as laying the groundwork for authoritarian tactics under the cloak of patriotism?
Well, the issue, whatever it is not going to work. What it will need is to more insecurity in the country. I don't think if Bayo Onanuga understands or the situation in the country, over 90% of Nigerians are hungry and therefore angry. So trying to suppress opposition means to increase the anger in the country, which will lead to more insecurity. Okay. Trying to suppress opposition is to increase the anger in the country, which will lead to more insecurity. And what they should know is that Nigeria is not Libya, with about 8 to 10 million people. Nigeria has more than 220 million people. And any breakout of war in this country is going to be felt everywhere. So they should be mindful of what they are doing. Tinubu still have 2 years to see if he can redeem himself. He still has 2 years to see if he can redeem himself, but ADC is coming on board to rescue Nigeria, because right now Nigeria is a sinking ship.
All right, definitely a very interesting situation. But if the ADC are saying that it looks like there's a clamp down on any sign of opposition, does that now buttress the point that this administration is working towards having a one-party system where one party overrules the others? Others are always in trouble, but APC is the only one looking like the only political party in Nigeria.
Well, it cannot be possible that to have a one-party state in Nigeria because we are not one people. We are not like the French or the British. We are not a mono-ethnic community. Understand me?
Yeah.
We are not like Iraq, Iran, where everybody is mostly Muslim. Understand me? So this is a very secular country. So we don't have the same interests, we don't have the same worldview. So one party state cannot work in the country. It cannot work in the country. No matter what they try to do, there must be dissenting voices.
Is the opposition coalition genuinely a democratic threat? Or is the ruling party more threatened by unity among political rivals than by actual insurrection?
Well, there's no insurrection anywhere. There's no insurrection anywhere, and there's no need for insurrection. Since we still have a electoral body,
Yes.
and people are coming. There's excitement in the country since ADC came on board. Those who we are saying that they will not vote in 2027 are now walking back on what they say, because one of the functions of a coalition is that it brings it stops apathy, because there's now a pathway to removing the incumbents.
Okay.
So I don't see anything much that APC can do at this point in time. They have lost it since 2015.
So but how come they survived? Because now in 2023, they're still in power, and it looks like they will still want to be there in 2027. What have they done differently?
The only thing that they have done is that they have compromised the National Assembly. Checks and balances are no more going on. They have compromised the judiciary by forcefully removing the Chief Justice of Nigeria under Goodluck Jonathan, and bringing one Tanku. Understand me? They were invading judges' houses and offices just to quieten them. So they have succeeded negatively by compromising the judiciary, the electoral body, and the National Assembly.
Well, let's take a look at it. Prior to when democracy was formed, we used to have active pressure groups. For instance, we used to have the NLC, for instance, that was active. We used to have opposition parties that could challenge the government in elections. But gradually we're beginning to have a situation where, okay, the checks and balances are no longer there. It looks like it's a uniformity of ideas. And we have a cabinet of ministers. A lot of Nigerians don't even know who these ministers are because they have not been functioning. So what is now working in Nigeria? Because we're still living in a situation where the present government is telling us that things are working, things are going to get better, and so on and so forth. If we're going to have this kind of system where the opposition will not even be allowed to breathe, to even make a case for themselves. So where next? What next for Nigerians? What's the hope of the common man?
Well, the issue is that a government in power is strong is because there's a weak opposition. That a government in power is strong is because there's a weak opposition. It is the opposition that determines the strength of the incumbent. So when the PDP was unknown, the Labour Party was unknown, so they felt that the world is in their pockets. But now these people are coming together, so APC is now feeling jittery. Understand? APC is now feeling jittery. So the only way to see what they can get is to begin to call on national security. That some people are coming up to overthrow the government. Who is coming up? These are politicians who don't even have a stick, let alone catapult. So what are they going to use to overthrow the government? They are mobilizing all the masses, not even mobilizing the masses. Hunger has already mobilized the masses. Hunger has already mobilized the masses. So what the ADC is now trying to do is to win over all the people that APC has mismanaged. Understand me? So now you are in power, people are suffering, and a party that is showing hope, and you are not trying to say other people shouldn't join them. Nigerians, even without knowing who is the presidential candidate of ADC, Nigerians in their minds have already decided we are going this way. Nigerians in their numbers are already deciding we are joining this way. So that's why that's Ononoga is talking of a gang up. What happened in 2014?
What happened in 2014? They were allowed in a free-for-all by Jonathan's government.
So for me, there's nothing there. As Erufai said, nothing will save Tinubu in 2027.
Is that not hypocrisy on the part of the APC? If what they actually did to Jonathan's government, now it looks like equal measure is building up, and they are now seeing it as a threat. Because can Nigeria claim to be a functioning democracy if criticism is increasingly framed as sabotage rather than civic participation?
Well, it is a government that has reneged on its campaign promises that will be seen criticism as a threat.
Yes.
Understand me? It is a government that has deceived the masses, that sees the criticism as a threat. If you know that you are fulfilling your promises, you will be taking criticism in good stride. Understand me? You'll be taking criticism in good stride. But this is a government that thinks that Nigerians are foolish. Understand? That Nigerians are foolish, that they can do anything and get away with it. So with the coming of ADC, they now know that they cannot get away with what they feel that they could have gotten away a week ago.
All right, let's go back to the acting secretary of the party, talking about Aregbesola. He's convinced that ADC has come to dislodge the APC. And he has asked for unity amongst his faithfuls. And of course, in Gombe State, they've adopted ADC as the opposition to dislodge APC. Does this mean that the ADC is quite building a very interesting momentum that will challenge the APC? And that's why the APC is jittery and looking for all means to make sure that the ADC does not have a breath of fresh air.
Well, that is what politics is, understand me? Because this is a game. Understand me? It is a contest, so you shouldn't fold your hands. So APC know that they are losing it because they have failed to deliver on their campaign promises. They know that they are losing it because the fundamentals in government, that's what is known as the fundamentals. That is the economy, security, those things that affect other people on a daily basis. APC had failed on these fundamentals. Insecurity everywhere, hunger everywhere. Understand me? So, and when you fail on these fundamentals, you can never win an election. That's what happened in Liberia, in Ghana, in UK, in United States. Anywhere an incumbent loses an election, go and investigate. He had failed on the fundamentals. And Tinubu has failed on those fundamentals. So there's nothing that will save him.
All right, let's go back to the next conversation, which is rather interesting because the momentum has continued to build ahead of the 2027 elections, and more matters have continued to arise as the presidency has rejected former Secretary to the Government of the Federation, SGF boss, Mustapha's claim that President Bola Tinubu didn't play a decisive role in Muhammadu Buhari's 2015 presidential victory. Temitope Ajayi, Senior Special Assistant to President Tinubu on Media and Public Affairs, argued that without Tinubu's political strength and strategic mobilization, Buhari wouldn't have secured the All Progressive Congress presidential ticket. Ajayi pointed to the pivotal 2014 APC presidential primary held in Lagos, where Tinubu's influence among APC governors and Southwest delegates tilted the contest in Buhari's favor. He emphasized that while Buhari had a consistent support base of around 12 million votes from the North, Tinubu's backing and strategic alliance building translated that into a nationwide victory. Buhari won the 2015 presidential election with 15.4 million votes, defeating incumbent President Goodluck Jonathan. The controversy highlights the ongoing jostling over legacy, loyalty, and historical credit within Nigeria's ruling party. Tinubu had previously reminded the APC of his central role in Buhari's rise to power, saying, "It's my turn," in Yoruba meaning Emiloko. "If not for me," he said, and I quote, "standing behind Buhari, he wouldn't have won," close quote. This renewed debate underscores the complex dynamics within the APC and the importance of understanding the party's history. Dr. Anosuke, is the battle over who made Buhari president a genuine historical debate or a strategic move by Tinubu's camp to rewrite the power hierarchy within the APC ahead of future internal battles?
For me, I like being objective in my criticisms.
Yes.
We cannot deny all the fact that Tinubu helped Buhari in becoming president, because Buhari has run on 3 different times. He did not win. Understand? Even he ran in 2003, 2007, 2011. He did not win.
He even ran against Jonathan the second time. He did not win.
So he ran against Jonathan in 2011.
Yes.
He did not win. He ran against his kinsman, Yaradua, in 2007. He did not win. He ran against Obasanjo in 2003. He did not win. But in 2015, Tinubu now joined him. Understand? Even though Jega, Atahiru Jega compromised the election. Understand me? So it's not just Tinubu. Jega also helped Buhari to win.
But Buhari's council believe that his 12 million votes played an active role, that it was only merely 3 million votes that Tinubu added. That is the way they equate the number of votes that Tinubu gave to them.
Assuming that Buhari has 12 million votes, understand me, then it means that what other people gave him was around
3 million.
3 million.
Yes.
What other people gave, and these other people includes Atiku, because Atiku was also part of the APC. Includes El-Rufai. Understand me? So we cannot deny Tinubu's effort, because they won Southwest.
But I think the Buhari's camp does not want Tinubu to take the glory that were he not for him personally, that Buhari wouldn't have been president.
An individual cannot make somebody president.
But that is what the camp of the Tinubu's people have been
That's
saying.
the Lagos Ibadan press, which is one of the biggest enemies of this country. It is Lagos Ibadan press that have been rewriting history, manipulating history, forging what is not real. Understand me?
Okay.
So, Tinubu contributed, but it's not only him. Rotimi Amechi was among those that funded Buhari's election. So nobody is mentioning him. Rotimi Amechi was the Director General of Tinubu's campaign. Nobody is mentioning him. Understand me? Rotimi Amechi betrayed his own kinsman, Jonathan, in support of Buhari. Nobody is, so it is a combination of people, not just Buhari, but no, not just Tinubu.
Okay.
But because these people have the media on their side, that's what they are using to falsifying, manipulating, telling all kinds of stories. Understand me? Tinubu had Buhari had his base intact, and they supported him fully. Then Atiku Kwankwaso Rotimi Amechi, El-Rufai, Tinubu, all of them contributed.
Okay, not just one man.
And without the new PDP, then Buhari would not have won. Without the campaign of Atiku, Saraki, Rotimi Amechi, Kwankwaso, Buhari would, that Tinubu's so-called help would not have materialized.
Yeah, and they're also on the part, talking about the Tinubu's camp, that had it been not for Tinubu, he wouldn't have won the primaries, talking about the presidential ticket of the APC. That Tinubu single-handedly mobilized the Southern, all the governors in the party to make sure the delegates nominated or voted for, talking about Buhari to become the presidential candidate of the APC.
Then, ask yourself, in 2015, how many governors does the APC have in the South? How many governors does APC have in the South in 2015? So how many governors did he understand me?
Did he bring on board? But that's what the talking about. There've been a bit of back and forth. Talking about Boss Mustapha, it's like there is an infighting within those who will hold the APC, because the Buhari boys are not happy that they've been sidelined in making sure that they are the arrowheads of the APC. Like Tinubu has taken control as the president, of course, but they are not happy. And how does this public clash reflect deeper fractures within the APC, and what does it reveal about Tinubu's grip on the party in the post-Buhari era?
He has no grip on the party. The truth is that Buhari's people has pulled out of CPC, has pulled out of APC.
And where have they gone to?
ADC.
Fully? Or they are still partially in the APC?
Manami is one of the key Buhari boys. Understand me? So the CPC has pulled out of APC. Now we are not seeing, but very soon we will begin to see it. So Boss Mustapha was part of the CPC. So these people now, they are no more part of APC. That's why they are attacking the government. Ask yourself, why didn't Boss Mustapha say this about last year? Why didn't Narota Onochie say this about 6 months ago? Yeah. So the Buhari people in APC are joining ADC. Understand? And these are the strong force in the north. These are the strong force in the north. And what Buhari said the other time through his media aid, that he will not betray APC. Understand? It is only a child that can take that serious. In the army, you are trained in two ways. As a junior officer, you are trained to be a loyal member. Loyalty as a junior officer, deception as a senior officer. So this is the two trainings that an army receives: loyalty, deception. Understand me? And it was that deception that David Mark used on Nyesom Wike the day that ADC was unveiled. And again, remember the day that America that attacked Iran. A day before it, Donald Trump came out on air and announced that he has extended by 2 weeks the time that he has given Iran to come to the table. Understand me? He announced it today and attacked Iran the next day. Understand me? So that when that announcement was made, Iran will say, or there's still time. They will lose their gas. So that is deception. Understand me? So Buhari through the Gabashew saying, I will not betray APC. Why your people are entering ADC in mass, you have not stopped them.
Okay, talking about it being a double-edged sword or not being truthful, because some have even asked the ex-president, talking about the former president Buhari, are you no longer in good terms with Tinubu? What is happening? And he has come out to say that there's no formal or official issues between him and President Tinubu, but we know that the signs are there that the Buhari boys are not happy. It shows that there must be something that Buhari is really telling them for them to be making open moves against the present administration.
You know, when they are saying that Tinubu inherited a dead economy, that the economy was, it is a direct attack on Buhari.
So you think it's more like a revenge?
Understand me? So Buhari boys are annihilling to take him out of that seat.
Has that not been the body language even prior to the 2023 election? Because there were also allegations and, of course, open confrontations with behind the scene, confrontation behind the scene, not openly, that Buhari was not in support of Tinubu emerging as a presidential candidate of the APC.
Well, behind the scene, now everything is open now. Understand me?
With what is happening?
With what is happening, with Abubakar Mandami joining ADC, with Boss Mustapha coming now, understand me, open to attack Buhari. I mean Tinubu. That Buhari said Tinubu's support was inconsequential. Understand me? That was what Boss Mustapha said. That the support in 2015 was inconsequential. That it was not Tinubu that made Buhari president.
Could this legacy tug of war be a form of warning, a veiled warning to dissenters who want to leave the APC and join the ADC that, God, Tinubu made your leader, Buhari, president for 8 years. It is now time to pay your debts. You are owing Tinubu 8 years. You have no right to join the ADC. You have to come back to the APC align and make sure that Tinubu finishes his 8 years before you can make any other decision.
Who said Tinubu made Buhari?
That is what the camp of Tinubu is saying.
I have told you, they have agreed that Buhari has 12 million votes.
Yes.
And Tinubu scored 15 million votes. Buhari scored 15 million votes, which means the 3 million is inconsequential to 12 million. Do you understand me?
Yes.
The 30 million is inconsequential to 12 million. So that's why they are saying that it is not, for me, an individual cannot make anybody president. Atiku was involved in making Buhari president. El-Rufai was involved. Rotimi Amechi was involved. Kwankwaso, that 2015, go and check it. Kanu had 2 million votes. You Google it.
Yes.
Kanu had 2 million votes. And a month after the election, the INEC chairman in Kanu, the Resident Electoral Commission, his house was burnt with his children inside. Up to today, no investigation has told us what happened. Understand me? Kanu, that 2015, had 2 million votes. So what is Tinubu's contribution? So if we argue, the more we argue this, the more we will come to the net that Tinubu is a mainly hype.
Because now, prior to the 2019 election, everybody saw the handwriting on the wall that it was looking like the Tinubu's boys were sidelined in terms of the appointment and in terms of the decisions that were being made by the government under President Buhari in his first term. They were expecting Tinubu to have an uprising, of course, protest ahead of the 2019 election. He stayed put and stayed behind the scene and allowed the status quo, still allowing his people to support the president to remain in power for the next 4 years. They said if Tinubu could swallow all of that, it's time for Buhari to reciprocate and his people. But it looks like that is not the case. Why is it now that it's only 2 years and the Buhari boys are already crying?
Excuse me, in 2015, the vice president was from Buhari, was from Tinubu.
We all know how that relationship ended eventually.
The vice president was from Tinubu. Then Fashionda was holding 2 key ministries.
And we know the relationship of the president with Fashola because he's not part of the government as to speak.
Power, he shouldn't be in every government. Power and housing. 2 key ministries. Understand me?
As a compensation.
Sure. So because this people that came together, CPC produced the presidential candidate, ACN produced the vice presidential candidate. So at the end of the day, power was shared.
But we know how the Tinubu camps felt under Buhari's administration for the 8 years he
I
was
don't
in
know
power.
how they felt because none of them complained.
They decided to let the status quo because they were patient, knowing that it's going to be the turn. I mean, Lokon is coming.
None of them complained. And when you don't complain, it means that
You approve.
or you are happy with what is going on.
Silence all the time may not mean approval. It may just be you want to tolerate and wait for your time.
So for me, these people have 12 million votes. They can torment anybody. These people, Buhari camp have 12 million votes. They can torment anybody. So that's why they can feel free, bold, confident, say what they want that to say.
Should Tinubu be worried that the Buhari's camp is pulling out of the APC
He is
and showing open support for the ADC?
He is already worried.
12 million votes is at stake.
He is already worried. He is jittery. His camp is very, very jittery.
What do you think he can do to bring the Buhari boys back to his camp?
For me, it's too late.
It's too late.
It's too late.
Do you think he can start giving them appointments and they will change their songs?
It is too late. These people have made up their minds. These people have made. El-Rufai said that they polled, that they did opinion poll, and they discovered that 81% of Nigerians are not happy with Tinubu's administration. That they did a survey, and they realized that 81% of Nigerians are not happy with Tinubu's administration. So they have done they have quietly done what they're supposed to do before taking this decision.
Well, why is it easy for the northern president to be arrogant in terms of his way of governance and gets away with it for 8 years. But when the Southern president reciprocates in equal measure,
politics is
all
a
of a
game of
sudden, it's now an aberration. It's an abomination. You must leave because you have failed. This is same thing, almost similar.
By hook or crook, the number is on their side, and politics is a game of numbers. By hook or crook, the number is on their side, and the politics is a game of numbers.
So the numbers encourages the arrogance of the northern politicians.
That is it. Numbers encourages everything. That Donald Trump is boldly issuing and tariff everywhere that America has numbers, 350 million people. And numbers in business means market.
So what must Tinubu do? Because now it looks the people are not on his side. And the 12 million votes is looking like they are going to the ADC. What is now his fate? What will be his last card? Because the confidence before was the Southern governors will be on my side.
Wait,
Okay?
excuse me. So, and you want me that to
To give him an
help him? You want me to
okay, what do you think he might be?
I wish him a fall.
What do you think might be behind his mind now? What will be behind the Tinubu's mind? Because he's a master strategist according to his
One of the hypes. His strongest man in politics, Adeboshanda, is in ADC.
Okay. You see, he knows his weakness.
This is somebody who knows Tinubu through and through. This is somebody who knows Tinubu through and through. So when El-Rufai said that nothing will save Tinubu, they know what they are saying.
What are the risks of anchoring national leadership legitimacy on past political favors rather than performance in office? Was it dangerous for Tinubu to rely on the loyalty of the 12 million votes Buhari camp instead of actively making sure that the people were happy? Do you think he played his cards wrongly? Because he said, okay, let me remove the subsidy, let's float the naira, let's people go through the pain first. I already have APC on my hands, the legislature is on my hands. Well, do you think that there was too much confidence on the part of the president?
It was arrogance on his part. It was arrogance on his part. He felt that the world is in his pocket. Understand me? And in the book Sucker Punch by Hadley Chase, he said when a man gets overconfident, he will be hit with a sucker punch. So right now, Tinubu has been hit with a sucker punch. Understand me? He became overconfident. They were even relocating ministries from the north to the south, Lagos. Understand me?
What ministry?
They were watching
CBN? Are you talking about the CBN?
CBN, airport, some ministries in the aviation. All those things.
You think all of those anger the northern political elites?
No, that's arrogance. Arrogance. So some people who were working in Abuja about a year ago were now forced to relocate to Lagos. Understand me?
You think it was a bit too much in a hurry?
I say it's arrogance. When he compromised the National Assembly by bringing a corrupt person who he can easily control. Understand me? He installed all the principal officers in the House of Representatives and in the Senate. Then made a Yoruba woman the Chief Justice of the Federation. He now felt that everything is in his pocket. That is the arrogance. Understand me? Okay. That is the and these people we are watching. We did not know when El-Rufai did his survey. And I have told you here, the strongest strategies in politics is silence and secrecy. And that's what they use against him.
Okay, we want to wrap it up right now, but we'll wrap it up with the Senate, which has rescheduled the Northwest Zonal Public Hearing on Constitutional Review for July 18 to 19. And this decision follows the postponement of the exercise initially set for 4th to 5th of July out of respect for the late elder statesman and philanthropist Alhaji Aminu Dantata, who passed away in Saudi Arabia. And the Deputy President of the Senate, Jibrin Barau, announced the new date during a plenary session in Abuja. And of course, the senators from the 21 senatorial districts are urged to attend and facilitate the participation of their constituents. Nigerians in the zone are also encouraged to submit memoranda on areas of the constitution they'd like to see amended. The public hearing will examine critical national issues, including local government autonomy, electoral and judicial reforms, state creation, state police, and inclusive governance. Some specific proposals include establishing local government councils as a tier of government, creating an independent national local government electoral commission, and granting more powers to states on internal security. Well, you take a look at it. Do you think that there's anything going to come out of this constitutional review?
Well, for me, it is a jamboree. It's a jamboree. It's a way of siphoning that's our national resources, because nothing is going to come out of it. They are good, assuming that they will be implemented. But I don't trust this present
Legislature?
National Assembly. They don't mean well for the country. They are not serving for the country, so I don't trust them. For me, this is a way of siphoning, that enriching themselves.
Yeah.
So,
if there's any constitutional review, do you trust them to even make the ones that will benefit Nigerians or not themselves?
Jerry, if you are there, you will not make any law that will affect your interest. So it's a human nature.
Right. But definitely they are supposed to represent the country and of course their constituents when they get there, but unfortunately
They are not doing that.
You're not doing that. All right. I want to thank very much Dr. Anosigedo flying solo. We could not get our virtual guest to join us, but I must say you've done excellently well.
Thank you.
And even refusing to advise the president anyway.
I cannot help a president that is not doing well.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Anosigedo. And that's all for today's discussion on the pressing issues shaping Nigeria's future, from the ADC's accusations of government suppression to the controversy over President Tinubu's role in Buhari's 2015 victory and the Senate Constitutional Review public hearing. We've explored the intricacies and challenges facing the nation. Stay informed, stay engaged, and join us next time as we continue to dissect the issues that matter most to Nigerians' growth and development. I am Jerry Apelohai, and this has been the Issues on Voice of the People television, where the future faces forward, and have a good one.